If you're a man over 60 and you've started noticing that you're waking up 2 or 3 times every night to use the bathroom, or when you do go, the stream just isn't as strong or as smooth as it used to be, then I want you to stop for a moment and really listen, because this isn't just a small inconvenience of getting older. This could be your body's gentle way of telling you your prostate needs attention right now. I've had hundreds of patients tell me, "Doc, I figured this was just normal. Every older man deals with it." But the truth is, not everyone has to live with it. And there are simple, natural ways to improve it if you know what to do. In today's video, I'm going to share prostate care tips that have helped many men in their 60s and 70s not only reduce these uncomfortable symptoms, but also maintain the confidence, comfort, and quality of life they thought they lost. And I want you to stay with me until the very end of this video, because the final tip I'll share is something most men completely overlook, and it can make a noticeable difference in just a few weeks if you do it right. Before we get started, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. William Harris. I'm 65 years old, and for over 35 years, I've worked with men just like you, men who were once strong, confident, in control, and who now are looking for ways to protect their health and keep their edge as they move through their 60s and beyond. I've seen what works and what doesn't, and I'm here to give you the clearest, most practical advice you can put into action today. If this is your first time here on Senior Vitality, I'd like to invite you to subscribe, not because I'm chasing numbers, but because this is a place where men our age can share, support, and help each other live healthier, fuller lives. Every week, I share real-world, science-backed tips that I've seen work firsthand with thousands of patients. So, stick with me until the end. I promise, what you're about to hear could change the way you care for your body, your prostate. Starting today. Now, let's begin with the first tip. Over the years, I've learned that the small, daily things we do or don't do can either protect our prostate or quietly make things worse. And the very first thing I always look at with my patients is their weight and activity level, because it's where so many problems begin. Tip number 1, maintain a healthy weight and stay activated. One of the first things I look at when a man over 60 comes to see me with prostate issues has nothing to do with pills or surgery. It's his weight and how much he moves during the day. Carrying extra weight, especially around your belly, is more than just a cosmetic concern. That belly fat isn't sitting there quietly. It's producing estrogen and lowering your testosterone levels. And when testosterone dips, the prostate can become more prone to inflammation, swelling, and those frustrating urinary symptoms. On top of that, excess fat can put direct pressure on the pelvic area, making things even more uncomfortable. Let me tell you about Richard. He's 67. When he first came in, he was frustrated. He was waking up 3 times a night, struggling with a weak stream and feeling drained during the day. Richard was about 25 pounds over his healthy weight. Instead of writing a prescription right away, we made a simple plan. Walk for 20 minutes every day and add to short sessions of light resistance training each week. We didn't focus on speed or heavy weights, just consistency. 6 months later, Richard walked into my office with a big smile. He had lost the weight. His stream was stronger, and he told me, "Doc, I'm sleeping through the night again." That's the kind of change that doesn't just happen in the prostate. It happens in your confidence, your mood, and your quality of life. Now, if you're over 60, I'm not telling you to run marathons or hit the gym like a 25-year-old. The key here is steady, manageable activity, brisk walking, light resistance bands, gentle yoga, even gardening, anything that keeps your body in motion. Start with 5 to 10 minutes if you haven't been active in a while, and build up to 30 minutes most days of the week. Movement helps in 3 major ways. It balances your hormones, improves blood flow to the prostate, and reduces inflammation throughout your body. These 3 factors create the foundation for long-term prostate health. And here's the best part. This is something you control. You don't need expensive equipment or special memberships. You just need the willingness to take that first step. Literally. Of course, exercise works even better when your diet is working for you, not against you. And that brings us to the next tip, one that starts right on your plate. Tip number 2, fuel your prostate with antioxidant-rich foods. Of course, moving your body is only part of the picture. What you put into your body matters just as much. And when it comes to prostate health, there's one category of foods I don't want you to overlook: antioxidant-rich foods. Think of antioxidants as your body's cleanup crew. Every day, your cells, including those in your prostate, face tiny bits of damage from inflammation, stress, and even normal metabolism over time. That damage can add up, leading to swelling, irritation, and changes in how your prostate functions. Antioxidants help neutralize that damage, calm inflammation, and keep your cells healthier for longer. So, where do you get them? Let's talk about a few of my favorites. Tomatoes, rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant linked to lower rates of prostate enlargement, and even a reduced risk of certain prostate conditions. Cooked tomatoes, like in sauces or soups, make lycopene even easier for your body to use. Berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, all packed with vitamin C and other compounds that fight inflammation and improve blood vessel health. Broccoli contains sulforaphane, which supports detoxification and may help your body get rid of harmful compounds before they can damage prostate cells. Green tea, loaded with catechins, which not only reduce inflammation, but also help regulate hormone balance. I think of one patient, George, 70 years old. He wasn't a big vegetable eater. Most of his meals were meat and bread. After his PSA levels started creeping up, we added one simple change: a cup of green tea every morning and a serving of cooked tomatoes every other day. 6 months later, his inflammation markers had improved, and he told me, "Doc, I didn't think food could make this much difference, but I feel lighter and my bathroom trips are fewer." If you're wondering how to start, don't overcomplicate it. Add one antioxidant-rich food to each meal. Have berries with your breakfast, a salad with tomatoes at lunch, broccoli as a side with dinner, and swap 1 cup of coffee for green tea. These small steps, repeated daily, work quietly in the background to protect your prostate. Now, diet and exercise together form a strong defense, but there's another key player most men forget about. If you ignore it, your progress can stall. That's exactly what we'll cover in the next tip. Tip number 3, stay hydrated and avoid bladder irritants. No, we've talked about what you eat, but what you drink can be just as important for your prostate. A urinary health. Water is not just a thirst quencher, it's the fuel your body uses to flush out toxins, keep your urinary tract clear, and maintain a healthy flow. When you're well hydrated, your urine is less concentrated, which means it's less likely to irritate your bladder or your prostate. It also helps reduce the risk of urinary tract infections, something many older men don't think about until it becomes a problem. But here's where many men run into trouble. They drink too little water, or they replace water with drinks. That actually makes things worse. Too much coffee, alcohol, soda, or sugary beverages can irritate the bladder, cause inflammation, and in some cases, make urinary symptoms more severe. Caffeine and alcohol, in particular, can increase urine production, but also irritate the bladder lining, making you feel like you need to go more often. I think of one patient, Samuel, 72. He told me he was waking up for times a night to use the bathroom. At first, he thought it was just age catching up to him. But when I asked about his drinks, he admitted to big mugs of coffee in the afternoon, a soda with dinner, and very little plain water. We made a simple change. Switched the afternoon coffee for herbal tea, replaced the soda with water, and spread his water intake throughout the day. Within 3 weeks, he was sleeping almost through the night, only waking up once. If you're over 60, a good target is about 6 to 8 cups, 1.5 to 2 liters of water per day, but spread it out. Drink most of it in the first half of the day, taper off after dinner, and avoid large amounts of fluids 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. Herbal teas, diluted fruit-infused water, and warm lemon water are also great options if plain water feels boring. Remember, hydration is not just about drinking more, it's about drinking smart. Support your prostate by giving your body the clean, gentle fluids it needs, and by avoiding the ones that irritate it. Of course, even the best diet and hydration habits can only take you so far without regular monitoring, and that's why the next tip may be one of the most important, because it's all about catching problems before they become serious. Tip number 4, get regular checkups and monitor your PSA. We've talked about staying active, eating well, and drinking smart, but even with the best habits, there's one thing you absolutely can't skip: regular health check-ups. The prostate is a small gland, but when something goes wrong, it doesn't always show clear symptoms right away. That's why routine screening is so important, especially after the age of 60. One of the main tools we use is the PSA test. PSA stands for prostate-specific antigen. It's a simple blood test that measures the amount of protein produced by the prostate. Higher than normal levels can be a sign of inflammation, enlargement, or, in some cases, prostate cancer. But PSA isn't perfect. It's just one part of the picture, which is why it's often paired with other checks. Another method is the digital rectal exam. Quick, simple, and it allows your doctor to feel the shape, size, and texture of the prostate. In some cases, we may also recommend an ultrasound for a closer look. I remember a patient named Alan, 66 years old. He felt completely fine, with no symptoms at all. But during his annual checkup, his PSA had risen from 0.5 to 5.2 in just 1 year. We followed up, caught an early stage problem, and treated it before it became serious. Alan later told me, "Doc, if you hadn't checked, I never would have known." That's the power of early detection. If you're over 60, here's my advice. Get your PSA checked once a year, or more often if you have a family history of prostate problems. Pair it with ADRE for a more complete picture. Keep your past results, so you can track changes over time. Even a small rise can matter. Talk openly with your doctor about the pros and cons of each test so you can make the choice that's right for you. Think of it like maintaining your car. You don't wait for smoke to come out of the engine before you check the oil. A quick annual check can save you from much bigger problems later. And speaking of maintenance, there's another side of prostate health that many men overlook, either out of embarrassment or simply not knowing how important it is. That's exactly what we'll talk about in the final tip. Tip number 5, maintain a healthy and active sex life. We've covered exercise, diet, hydration, and regular checkups. But there's one more part of prostate health that often gets left out of the conversation: your sex life. For many men over 60, intimacy changes. Maybe it's slower to get started, maybe desire isn't what it used to be, or maybe there are health conditions that make it harder to stay active. But here's what I want you to hear. A healthy, regular sex life isn't just about pleasure. It's part of keeping your prostate healthy. When you're sexually active, you increase blood flow to the pelvic area, which helps nourish the prostate and surrounding tissues. Regular ejaculation helps flush out fluid that can otherwise build up in the prostate, reducing the risk of inflammation and discomfort. It also supports healthy hormone balance, which plays a role in both prostate function and overall well-being. I think of a patient named Michael, 68 years old. After his wife passed away, he withdrew from intimacy entirely. Over the next few years, his urinary symptoms worsened, and he felt generally less energetic. When we talked about it, I explained the benefits of staying sexually active, whether with a partner or through self-pleasure. Slowly, Michael began rebuilding that part of his life, starting with simple moments of closeness and touch. 6 months later, he told me, "Doc, I feel like I've woken up again, not just in the bedroom, but in my whole life." Now, if you're over 60, regular doesn't have to mean every day or even every week. It's about finding a rhythm that feels good for your body and your relationship. For some men, that might be once a week. For others, once or twice a month. The key is consistency, keeping that connection alive. And remember, intimacy isn't always about intercourse. Holding hands, cuddling, kissing, massage, these all stimulate the release of hormones like oxytocin, which can lower stress and improve mood. Lower stress, in turn, supports better prostate health. If physical limitations make sexual activity more challenging, talk openly with your partner and your doctor. Sometimes, small adjustments or changes in routine can make all the difference. So, as we move into the conclusion of this video, keep in mind that caring for your prostate isn't just about tests and diet. It's about staying connected to yourself, to your partner, and to the parts of life that make you feel alive. And that's exactly the message I want to leave you with in our closing thoughts. As we wrap up, I want to remind you, everything we've talked about today isn't just theory. These are real, practical steps that men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s have used to protect their prostate, improve their comfort, and reclaim parts of life they thought were gone. We've covered 5 key habits. 1. Maintain a healthy weight and stay active, because movement and a balanced body keep hormones steady and blood flowing where it's needed most. Point 2. Fuel your body with antioxidant-rich foods to calm inflammation and protect prostate cells from damage. 3. Stay hydrated and avoid bladder irritants. so your urinary system works smoothly without unnecessary stress on the prostate. 4. Get regular checkups and monitor your PSA to catch problems early when they're easier to treat. 5. Maintain a healthy and active sex life to keep circulation strong, hormones balanced, and your sense of vitality alive. I know that making changes at this stage in life can feel daunting. You might be thinking, can I really turn things around now? My answer is a resounding yes. Your body is still capable of healing, improving, and adapting if you give it the right conditions. The beauty of these tips is that you don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start with one small step. Take a walk today. Add tomatoes or berries to your breakfast. Swap that afternoon soda for water. Schedule your next checkup. Hold your partner's hand more often. Each of these small actions is like adding one more brick to the foundation of your long-term health. And remember, this isn't just about your prostate. It's about your confidence, your independence, your connection with others, and your ability to enjoy the years ahead on your terms. If you found value in today's video, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 tips will you start with? Or is there something you've already been doing that's made a difference? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might inspire another man who's watching right now. And if you want more practical, science-backed advice for living well after 60, join our community here on Senior Vitality by subscribing. Not because I need the numbers, but because we're building a place where men can learn, share, and thrive together. You're not too old. You're not too late. You're certainly not done. Your health, your energy, and your vitality are worth protecting, starting today.